È ora di viaggiare. Impara l'inglese con Tele Regione 9. Dal lunedì al venerdì alle 17:07.
Dear Alice, I'm in bed writing to you.
What are you doing in bed? Are you sleeping?
No, I'm not sleeping. I'm studying.
Studying, really? Oh, you and your damn correspondence. You've got a test very soon, my darling.
Well, I'm practicing my English. This is good practice. What have you got in your hand? Is it a letter for me? What are you holding behind your back?
Yes, it's a letter for you.
Is it from Charles? Is there an English stamp on it?
No, it isn't from Charles. There isn't an English stamp on it. There's another stamp.
Is it from Alice? Is there an American stamp on the envelope?
Yes, there's American stamp on it.
How wonderful! Give it to me, please.
No, not now. Do your homework first. Where can I put it? There's so many things in this room. Where are the letters from Charles and Alice? Are they in your desk? Have you got many letters from your pen friends?
There aren't many letters from Charles and Alice. They aren't there in the drawer. They're up there on the shelf. Look, I haven't many letters from Charles and Alice.
It's right here. Finish your lesson first and then read it, okay? Be a good girl, Elsie. Elsie, have you got a stamp? This is a letter for Aunt Charlotte. She's spending a few days in London and she's having a lot of fun.
Has she got an English friend? Why is she in London? Is there any special reason?
She's only there on holiday. She's with a group of elderly ladies. There are a lot of other ladies from Pomid with her. They're all very happy.
Are all of them ladies? Aren't there any men at all?
Try to be polite, my dear. They aren't all ladies. There are some men, of course there are. There's the bus driver and, oh, there's the tour guide and... Mommy! Gary, don't come in. Elsie's studying. Have you got a stamp for me, Elsie, or not?
No, I haven't got a stamp for you. This isn't a post office. Well, Alice, I have to study now. What's your mother like? Is she like mine? She tells me to study, but then she stays in my room to chat for ages, so I waste time. Your friend, Elsie.
Hello, welcome back.
Hi. We are now going to revise the interrogative forms and to learn the negative forms of to be and to have. It's necessary, absolutely necessary.
Oh, it's necessary, absolutely necessary. These verb forms are always so important. We're talking about the present tense of these verbs, aren't we?
Of the present tense, of course.
Verb forms.
To be, present simple, interrogative form. Am I? Are you? Is he, she, it? Are we? Are you? Are they?
Now look at the negative forms. The construction is quite easy.
To be, present simple, negative form. I am not. You are not. He, she, it is not. We are not. You are not. They are not. To be, present simple, short negative form. I'm not. You aren't. He, she, it isn't. We aren't. You aren't. They aren't. Or, I'm not. You're not. He's, she's, it's not. We're not. You're not. They're not. To be, present simple, negative interrogative form. Am I not? Are you not? Is he, she, it not? Are we not? Are you not? Are they not? To be, present simple, short negative interrogative form. Aren't I? Aren't you? Isn't he, she, it? Aren't we? Aren't you? Aren't they?
Have you noticed that the short form of the interrogative negative has a different construction to the full form? In the full form, the order is verb, subject, negative. In the contracted form, the negative comes before the subject.
Is he not English? Or isn't he English? No, he is American. Now an exercise. Fill in the blanks using the given subjects.
No, I am not studying. Is it from Charles? Where are the letters from Charles and Alice? Are they in your desk? No, it is not from Charles. There isn't an English stamp on it. Is it from Alice? Is there an American stamp on the envelope?
Stop. Stop a moment, please. Is there an English stamp on it? Is there an American stamp on the envelope? There isn't an English stamp on it.
Yes, just a moment before we go on.
We have to learn about there is and there are.
There is, there are.
There is, there are. Interrogative. Is there? Are there? Negative. There isn't. There aren't.
In there is and there are, there, in each case, functions as the subject of the sentence.
Is there an English stamp on it? There isn't an English stamp. There is another stamp. There are no letters in that drawer. Be careful. There has another meaning also. The letters are there in the drawer.
Yes, there, in this case, means in that place. In that place.
Here, there. Here I am with my photo. They aren't there in the drawer. They're up there on the shelf. It's here. She's only there on holiday.
Correct the mistakes in the sentences. Yes, there are American stamps on it.
Why is she in London? Is there any special reason?
Fill in the blanks putting there plus verb.
Is there a test soon? There is a letter in her hand. There are so many things in this room. Are there many letters from your pen friends? There aren't many letters from Charles and Alice. There are a lot of other ladies from Pomede with her.
What's next?
The verb to have, of course. To have, present simple, interrogative form. Have I got? Have you got? Has he, she, it got? Have we got? Have you got? Have they got? To have, present simple, negative form. I haven't got. You haven't got. He, she, it hasn't got. We haven't got. You haven't got. They haven't got. To have, present simple, negative interrogative form. Haven't I got? Haven't you got? Hasn't he, she, it got? Haven't we got? Haven't you got? Haven't they got? Note, as we have already said, this construction of the verb to have is common in England. Fill in the blanks using the given subjects.
You've got a test very soon, my darling. What have you got in your hand? Have you got many letters from your pen friends? Look, I haven't got many letters from Charles and Alice. Elsie, have you got a stamp? Has she got an English friend? Have you got a stamp for me, Elsie, or not? No, I haven't got a stamp for you.
There are lots of special forms in English. Now we are going to look at a special form to indicate actions and situations that are happening at or around the moment of speaking. The auxiliary to be plus the verb plus ing. This form is called the present continuous because the action is continuing at the time of speaking. It may also be called the present progressive. It's formed as follows. The auxiliary to be plus the verb plus ing.
Let's try it with the verb to do.
Present continuous. I am doing. You are doing. He is doing. She is doing. It is doing. We are doing. You are doing. They are doing.
To do, present continuous, short form. I'm doing. You're doing. He's, she's, it's doing. We're doing. You're doing. They're doing. As the present continuous is formed with the auxiliary to be, the interrogative and negative forms will be, as you can see now. To do, present continuous, interrogative form. Am I doing? Are you doing? Is he, she, it doing? Are we doing? Are you doing? Are they doing? To do, present continuous, negative form. I'm not doing. You aren't doing. He, she, it isn't doing. We aren't doing. You aren't doing. They aren't doing. Or, I'm not doing. You're not doing. He's, she's, it's not doing. We're not doing. You're not doing. They're not doing.
I am in bed, writing to you.
What are you doing in bed?
She's spending a few days in London, and she's having a lot of fun.
This present continuous indicates actions and situations which are happening at or around the present moment. By the way, I'm speaking to you now. Let's compare this with the present simple, where the action happens repeatedly. I speak to you on Monday, I speak to you on Tuesday, I speak to you on Wednesday, and so on.
Spelling rules.
Before adding ing, drop the final e. Take, taking. Make, making. Before adding ing, double the last consonant in monosyllabic verbs ending in consonant, vowel, consonant. Swim, swimming. Put, putting. Sit, sitting. Before adding ing, change final ie to y. Die, dying.
Make sentences using the present continuous with the key words indicated. Are you sleeping?
I am practicing my English. What are you holding behind your back? Gary, don't come in, please. Elsie is studying.
Charles is riding his bicycle. Where is he going?
Revision.
The imperative is used to give orders and encourage people to do things. The second persons of the imperative in English are formed by the infinitive without to.
To go.
Go.
To give.
Give.
To finish.
Finish.
1, 2, 3, go.
Give me your pen. Finish the exercise. Very, much, etc. To strengthen adjectives and quantify nouns, many forms are used in English. Very in front of adjectives and adverbs. He is short. He is tall. He is very tall.
This book is very interesting.
I speak English very well. To talk about a large quantity, negative and questions. Much in front of singular uncountable nouns. Many in front of plural countable nouns.
There isn't much coffee in this cup.
Are there many letters from Charles on the shelf? To talk about a large quantity. Affirmative, a lot of, with singular uncountable nouns and plural countable nouns. There are a lot of collections in Alice's room. In affirmative sentences, a lot of is the most common expression. Much and many are used especially in questions and in negative sentences. In excess equals too plus adjective or adverb. Too much plus singular, uncountable nouns. Too many plus plural, countable nouns.
You speak too quickly. She drinks too much beer.
Elsie writes too many letters. Choose the appropriate form.
There are a lot of flowers in your room. You have got a lot of flowers. You have got too many collections. Have you got many letters from your pen friends?
Elsie is very clever.
There are a lot of ladies from Pomede with her. They're all very happy. Have you got many books?
Elsie has got a lot of books in her room.
You've got a test very soon, my darling.
To be like has two meanings. A means to be similar to. B is used to ask for a description of a person, place, or thing. Is your mother like mine? What's your mother like? She is always angry.
To be on holiday. She's only there on holiday. To practice something. I am practicing my English. To spend time. She's spending a few days in London.
Question words. What? Why?
Of course, you already know these question words, but do this exercise and you'll know them even better.
Fill in the blanks. What are you doing in bed?
What have you got in your hand? What are you holding behind your back? Why is she in London?
Nouns.
Correspondence.
Stamp.
Letter.
Envelope. Tour guide. Tour book.
Post office. Bus driver. Exam.
Test. Homework.
Housework.
Adjectives.
Dear.
Darling.
Quick.
Slow.
Adverbs.
Quickly.
Slowly.
Verbs.
To finish.
To chat.
To hold.
To drink.
To think.
Is this the end or not yet?
Is this too much?
It's an awful lot.
Okay then. Let's stop here.
See you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
She hasn't got any children. Oh, it's not true. She has got a child. Charlotte's dog is her child. He's a very peculiar dog. And Charlotte's always very nervous, and she's very messy. She often changes her mind. Yesterday, we were at her house, and this is what happened.
Oh, please open the window. I'm hot, terribly hot. Do it at once, and give me a glass of water. I'm so hot and so thirsty.
She's always so sensitive. One moment she feels hot, the next moment she feels cold. And look at what's happening now.
Give me another glass of water. Oh no, that's all right. Sit here with me.
Oh well, she's always like this. One moment she's hot, the next moment she's cold, and then she gets hot again, and then she feels cold.
Brr! Close the window. I'm so cold. Get my coat, Elsie.
It's terrible. She is so fussy.
Oh no, I think you've been overeating and I'm a little worried. I think we should go to the doctor.
Yeah, I was saying something.
Mommy, where's Aunt Charlotte's coat?
Take my advice, I think we should go to the doctor. Aunt Charlotte, you're really strange. We opened the window because you were hot, and now you're cold. Why?
I was hot. Now I'm cold. I had a bad headache because I was so hot.
One moment you're hot, and the next moment you're cold. It wasn't that hot before, and it's not that cold in the house. Perhaps you're ill. You're not well.
Oh, you know me. I'm like that. You say I'm not well. You're wrong. I'm perfectly well. I'm cold now. That's all. Thank you. It was a physical reaction. That's all. Don't be afraid, I'm well. Oh, there are a lot of good things to eat here. Maybe I'm cold because I'm hungry. Oh, yes, I was hungry. It was a lack of insulin.
But you're not diabetic, Aunt Charlotte. I'm angry with you now. You eat too much bread and too many sweets, and then you talk about diets.
Oh, is my diet right? Now I've got an appointment at the doctor's for my diet, and another one at the dentist's to check my teeth, because I eat too many sweets. Are you all coming with me?
It was a terrible afternoon. The cafe, the doctors, and then the dentists. There was a lot of noise and traffic in town. Oh, it was really horrible. Love from Elsie.
Hello, it's grammar time for Unit 7.
Hi, let's get started. Today we are going to talk about the past simple tense. This tense relates to actions that happened in this finished period, the past. The present is now, right now, today. Tomorrow is the future.
Now, the past simple of to be.
To be. Past simple.
I was, you were, he was, she was, it was. We were, you were, they were.
Interrogative form. Was I? Were you? Was he? Was she? Was it? Were we? Were you? Were they?
Negative form. I wasn't, you weren't, he wasn't, She wasn't. It wasn't. We weren't. You weren't. They weren't. To be, past simple, negative interrogative form. Wasn't I? Weren't you? Wasn't he, she, it? Weren't we? Weren't you? Weren't they?
Now, the past simple of to have.
To have, past simple, I had, you had, he had, she had, it had, we had, you had, they had.
Note, do not use got with have in the past simple tense.
I've got a cold. I had a cold last week. Not, I had got a cold.
Interrogative and negative forms of the past simple tense of the verb to have with the auxiliary did. Excuse me a moment, I'll be right back.
We are not going to learn the interrogative and negative forms of the verb to have in the past simple now because it requires did. This is the same for all non-auxiliary verbs. We will discuss this later on. We have seen the past simple tense of the verbs to have and to be. Now we will look at the past simple tense of all regular verbs.
Note first of all that
The past simple refers to actions which happened at a definite time which is now completed.
In English, the past simple tense of the regular verbs is formed by adding ed to the infinitive form without to.
Past simple, regular verbs. Infinitive, to open. Past simple, open plus ed. Spelling rules. Past simple of regular verbs. The verbs ending in E add only D. To close, close plus D. Y preceded by a consonant. Y becomes I plus ed. To study, studied. But Y preceded by a vowel plus ed. To stay, stayed.
fill in the blanks using the given verbs in the past form.
She was married.
She was married.
She had a husband, but now she is a widow.
Before she had a husband, but now she's a widow.
I was hot. Now I am cold.
I was hot, now I'm cold.
I had a bad headache because I was so hot.
I had a bad headache because I was so hot.
It wasn't that hot before, and it isn't that cold in the house now.
It wasn't that hot before, and it's not that cold in the house. Perhaps you're ill.
It was a physical reaction, that's all.
It was a physical reaction. That's all. Don't be afraid, I'm well.
Yesterday, we were at her house, and this is what happened.
Yesterday, we were at her house, and this is what happened.
We opened the window because you were hot.
We opened the window because you were hot, and now you're cold. Why?
Just a moment. I have another exercise for you. Put the following sentences into the past simple, affirmative, interrogative, and negative forms.
She is like an aunt to everybody. She was like an aunt to everybody. Was she like an aunt to everybody? She wasn't like an aunt to everybody. Aunt Charlotte's always very nervous. Aunt Charlotte was always very nervous. Was Aunt Charlotte always very nervous? Aunt Charlotte wasn't always very nervous. Oh dear, I'm really thirsty. Oh dear, I was really thirsty. Oh dear, was I really thirsty? Oh dear, I wasn't really thirsty. You're really strange. You were really strange. Were you really strange? You weren't really strange. Oh, there are a lot of good things to eat here. Oh, there were a lot of good things to eat here. Oh, were there many good things to eat here? Oh, there weren't many good things to eat here.
And now,
Put the following sentences into the past simple.
I want to tell you about Aunt Charlotte. I wanted to tell you about Aunt Charlotte. We all call her Aunt Charlotte. We all called her Aunt Charlotte. She often changes her mind. She often changed her mind. I never opened the window. I never opened the window. I often study at home. I often studied at home. I rarely stay at home. I rarely stayed at home.
Special expressions with to be.
Note that the verb to be is used in special expressions concerning physical and psychological states. We saw some of them in the short film.
yes, here is a list of some of them.
To be cold.
To be hot.
To be warm.
To be well.
To be ill.
To be afraid.
To be angry.
To To be hungry.
To be thirsty.
To be right.
To be wrong. Mom is always angry at John. When Aunt Charlotte is hungry, she eats a lot of sweets. Fill in the blanks using the given key words.
Oh, please, open the window. I am hot. I am terribly hot.
Do it at once. I am so hot and so thirsty.
Oh, well, she's always like this. One moment she is hot, and one moment she is thirsty. Oh, dear, close the window. I am cold. I am so cold. We opened the window because you were hot, and now you are cold. Why? I was hot, now I am cold. One moment you are hot, and the next moment you are cold. Perhaps you are ill. Oh yes, you are not well. You are wrong. I am perfectly well. I am cold now, that's all. Are you afraid? Don't be afraid. I'm angry with you now. You eat too much bread and too many sweets. Oh yes, my diet. You are right.
Genitive S or possessive S. To express the genitive when the possessor is a person. Possessor plus apostrophe S plus thing or person possessed.
There is a special form in English to express the genitive when the possessor is a person. It's formed without the preposition of. The genitive or possessive S. The person comes first, plus an apostrophe, plus S, plus the thing possessed.
The book of Elsie. Wrong. Elsie's book. Right.
Have you seen the examples? Okay, now I'll try to explain to you better how to form this construction. We have this sentence which is not correct. The brother of Elsie is John. Instead, the possessor is a person, okay? It's Elsie. So this goes in here. And the thing possessed is the brother, who is John. So we form this construction with Elsie plus the apostrophe and S. Elsie's brother is John. There is no need to use of or the article the. Simply, Elsie's brother is John with the apostrophe S.
The brother of Elsie is John. Wrong. Elsie's brother is John. Right.
To help you understand, look at the similarity between the possessive form of names and the possessive adjective. This is her book. This is Elsie's book.
There, isn't it easy?
This is her book. This is Elsie's book.
Note: singular nouns ending in S are usually followed by apostrophe S. In American English, the possessive S is dropped, and there is only the apostrophe. Charles's book, or Charles's book. Elsie Rolls's ghost, or Elsie Rolls's ghost.
Plural nouns ending in S are followed by an apostrophe. No S after the apostrophe.
The students' parents, but the postmen's bags.
Special expressions, house, church, shop, office, etc., are often omitted after the genitive.
Aunt Charlotte is at the doctor's office. She's at the dentist's office. We are at Aunt Charlotte's house. Correct the following sentences.
She is my mother's aunt. Where is Aunt Charlotte's coat? Now I have got an appointment at the doctor's for my diet, and at the dentist to check my teeth. This is Alice's stuffed animal collection. This is Mum's car. These are the students' books.
Question words. To ask about possession, use whose plus noun plus to be plus this, that, these, those.
Whose dog is this?
It's Aunt Charlotte's dog.
Whose cars are those?
They are ours. Note the genitive S is used also for time expressions and for animals. Today's lesson:
My dog's tail.
Using whose, form questions that correspond to the following answers.
Whose car is it? Whose dog is it? Whose books are they? Whose coat was it? Whose shoes were they? Like, similar to. She's like an aunt to everybody. She's always like this.
At once. Immediately.
Now. At this moment.
Today.
Tomorrow.
Come here at once.
Now she is studying.
Today I am staying in bed.
Tomorrow's a holiday, and there will be no school.
To have a headache. Oh, I have a terrible headache.
To change one's mind. Aunt Charlotte often changes her mind.
To express probability, you can use maybe or perhaps. Maybe or perhaps.
Maybe I'm cold because I am hungry. Perhaps I am cold because I am hungry.
Mind this irregular plural, tooth, one, and teeth, many.
And this special expression, oh dear, while dear Elsie, dear Charles, dear Alice is something quite different.
Dear students, you are very clever.
This is the end of the lesson. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Dear Elsie, as you know, I go to college. This is my last year here at the University of California at Berkeley. College years are really amazing and great here in the United States. University students live either on campus or in private houses and apartments. They go home only on the weekends or during the holidays. I live in an apartment with 3 other students. Caroline is only 19 years old. She's a junior majoring in mathematics. She is very studious, but she is very messy. Her brother Paul also lives with us. He is 21 years old. He is very active, but he is not that studious. He takes the same courses as Moira. They want to become lawyers. He's a senior. She is the other girl who lives with us. She is 19 and she is very studious too. She's a junior. We all wake up early in the morning, but not too early, around 7 o'clock. We have a special clock that wakes us up. It's the street cleaner. When it passes, we all get up.
Good morning, everybody. What time is it? Of course, it's 7 a.m. Good morning, Sis. Good morning, Moira. Alice, do you know what time it is? It's 7.
When Paul gets up, he's in a good mood. He's probably happy to wake up in an apartment full of girls. Moira is first in the bathroom today. As you can imagine, it's a busy time in the bathroom. We take turns. We take turns in the kitchen too. One of us goes to the kitchen and washes all the dishes from the day before. There are cups, saucers, glasses, plates, pots and pans, forks, knives, soup spoons and teaspoons to wash. Well, everything. The same person fixes breakfast as well. Oh, it's 7:15. It's my turn. Moira, please, get out of the bathroom. It's 7:15. I quickly wash my face with soap. I dry myself with the towel. And then I put some cream on my face.
I put some toothpaste on my toothbrush and brush my teeth. Finally, I comb my hair.
Come on, it's 7:30.
At 7:45, Paul starts knocking at the door.
Caroline, please hurry up.
When she comes out of the bathroom, it's usually 7:50, and Paul is desperate.
Caroline, hurry up. It's my turn now. You're always so late, my dear sister.
Paul takes a long time in the bathroom because he has to shave. He covers his face with shaving cream and then he shaves with his razor. The poor boy is always in such a hurry because of his sister that he doesn't even look at himself in the mirror. He cuts himself with the razor blade several times. I leave at 8:05. My first class is at 8:30. Paul and Moira leave at 8:10. Caroline at 8:15. Good afternoon, everybody. By 5 p.m., I'm back. I'm very tired. I go to the bathroom immediately and take a refreshing bath or a shower. At 5:30, Caroline gives a mathematics lesson to a high school student. Moira studies at the university library for a few hours and comes back at about 6:20 or 6:50.
Good night, everybody.
In the afternoon, Paul plays soccer with his university team, and then he spends the evening with his girlfriend. So he is never back home before 11 o'clock at night. And this is the reason why. Good night, Elsie. Love, Alice.
Hello again.
Hello.
To ask the time in English, we say, what time is it? What time is it, Jocelyn?
It's grammar time, William.
You can say, what time is it? Or, what's the time?
To answer this question, you say, it is 9 o'clock.
It is 9 o'clock. The hour is divided into seconds, minutes, quarters, half hours. From the hour until 30 minutes after is past. After the first half hour is 2.
It is 9 o'clock. It is 5 minutes past 9, or better, 5 past 9. It is 10 past 9. It is a quarter past 9. It is 20 past 9. It is 25 past 9. It is 9:30. It is 25 to 10. It is 9:45. It is 10 o'clock.
What time is it? Or, what's the time? Are used when you talk in the present tense. But when you talk in the past tense, to ask the time, you should say, what time was it? Or, what was the time?
The half hour can also be expressed by saying the hour plus 30. 8:30, it's 8:30. A more modern way of expressing the time is by saying the hour plus the minutes.
8:30 or 8:30.
8:15 or 8:15.
25 to 10 or 9:35.
11:45 or 11:45.
26 minutes to 10 or 9:34.
From 12 midnight until 11:59 in the morning, you indicate AM after expressing the hour. From 12 o'clock in the afternoon until 11:59 at night, midnight, you indicate PM. The abbreviations AM, PM are mainly used in writing and when talking about past and future events. What time is it? It's 1 a.m.
If it's early in the morning.
It's 1 p.m.
If it's early in the afternoon.
What time was it? It was 10 a.m.
If it was in the morning.
It was 10 p.m.
If it was in the evening.
What time is grammar time, Jocelyn?
That's another thing to learn. Grammar time is always after our lovely film. At any time you want.
Answer these questions, expressing the time in both ways. What time is it?
It is 8 o'clock. What time is it?
It is 10 past 9, or it is 9:10. What time is it?
It is 25 past 9, or 9:25. What time is it?
It is 25 to 10, or 9:35. What's the time?
It's 9:45, or 9:45. What's the time?
It's 20 past 10, or 10:20. What's the time? It's 20 to 12, or 11:40.
What time is it?
It is 10 past 2, or 2:10. What's the time?
It's 2:15, or 2:15. What's the time?
It's 6:30, or 6:30.
Be careful with these two.
Why are they so special?
Well, with these we use the word minutes. What's the time?
It's 4 minutes past 12, or 12:04.
What time is it?
It's 21 minutes to 1, or 12:39. So we say 5 past 12, but 4 minutes past 12.
That's right. We can omit minutes only after 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25.
Spelling rules. For verbs in the present simple and for the plural of nouns. We have seen that the third person singular of the present simple tense of the verbs is formed by adding an S. This ending becomes ES in all verbs finishing with O, S, SS, X, SH, and CH. Final Y, preceded by a consonant, becomes IE before adding S. But when Y is preceded by a vowel, you simply add an S. Go. He goes, she goes, it goes.
Pass. He passes, she passes, it passes.
Kiss. He kisses, she kisses.
Teach. He teaches, she teaches.
Study. He studies, she studies.
But pay. He pays, she pays.
There are the same changes in the spelling of nouns in the plural.
Lady,
Ladies.
campus,
Campuses.
bus,
Buses.
dish,
Dishes.
church,
Churches.
box,
Boxes.
but, day,
Days.
Note this special expression, to live on campus.
A university student lives either on campus or in a private house. They live on campus.
It's just a way of saying.
Put these sentences into the plural. A university student lives either on campus or in a private house.
University students live either on campus or in private houses.
A bus is a means of public transport.
Buses are means of public transport.
It was a wonderful holiday.
They were wonderful holidays.
At the university, there is a library. At universities, there are libraries. This is a box. These are boxes. This is a lady. These are ladies.
This is a dish. These are dishes.
There is a cup, a saucer, a glass, a plate, a pot, a pan, a fork, and a spoon.
There are cups, saucers, glasses, plates, pots, pans, forks, and spoons.
Put the verbs into the third person singular.
University students live either on campus or in private houses or apartments.
A university student lives either on campus or in a private house or apartment.
They go home only on the weekend or during the holidays.
He or she goes home only on the weekend or during the holidays.
I live in an apartment with 3 other students.
He or she lives in an apartment with 3 other students. They want to become lawyers.
He or she wants to become a lawyer. 2 of us go to the kitchen and wash all the dishes from the day before. 1 of us goes to the kitchen and washes all the dishes from the day before.
The same students fix breakfast as well.
The same student fixes breakfast as well. I put some toothpaste on my toothbrush and brush my teeth.
He or she puts some toothpaste on his or her toothbrush and brushes his or her teeth.
They hurry up.
He or she hurries up. Early.
Late. To be late.
To be early. To be on time. Oh, you're always so late, my dear sister.
Is Alice early or late?
Alice is late. Is Alice late, or is she on time?
She is on time.
Notice these verbs, their meaning and their use. To wake up. To fall asleep. To get up. To get dressed.
She wakes up very early in the morning and falls asleep late in the evening. When she gets up, she gets dressed immediately.
Fill in the blanks.
We all wake up early in the morning, but not too early. We have a special clock that wakes us up. It's the street cleaner.
When Paul wakes up, he's in a good mood. He is probably happy to wake up in an apartment full of girls.
I fall asleep at about 11:30.
They wake up at 7 o'clock. They fall asleep at different times. Alice falls asleep at about 11:30 or 12 o'clock at night. Paul gets dressed very quickly because he is always late.
Reflexive pronouns and verbs. The verbs that express actions where the subject and object are the same are known as reflexive. They require a reflexive pronoun.
The English language doesn't have many reflexive verbs. Remember the following.
To cut oneself. To enjoy oneself. To hurt oneself. To help oneself.
In modern English, the reflexive pronouns are often left out when they indicate usual actions done regularly.
To wash oneself. To dress oneself. To behave oneself. To shave oneself. When I cut myself, I immediately put spirits on the wound. When I am at parties, I enjoy myself. In the morning, I wash and dress.
In the morning, Paul shaves.
The reflexive pronouns are the following. Reflexive pronouns. Myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, themselves.
But note that when talking about parts of the body in English, possessive adjectives are used instead of the articles.
Alice combs her hair, washes her face, and puts cream on her face.
Paul cuts his face.
Fill in the blanks using reflexive pronouns and/or possessive adjectives.
I quickly wash my face with soap. I dry myself with the towel, then I put some cream on my face.
He covers his face with shaving cream. He cuts himself with the razor blade.
He doesn't even look at himself in the mirror.
When they are at parties, they never enjoy themselves. To be in a good mood.
To be in a bad mood.
How is Alice? Is she in a good mood or a bad mood?
She is in a good mood. How is Alice? Is she in a good mood or a bad mood?
She is in a bad mood.
Clock.
Watch.
Alarm clock.
Grandfather clock.
Bath.
To take a bath.
Shower.
To take a shower. In the morning.
In the afternoon.
In the evening.
At night.
American English. Junior, 3rd year of university. Senior, 4th year of university. To major in. She is a junior majoring in mathematics.
At the weekends.
On the weekends.
Flat.
Apartment.
To make breakfast.
To fix breakfast.
Maths.
Math.
Oh, when I wake up in the morning, I immediately think of you and want to tell you.
Are you worried about it?
No, very delighted about it.
Okay, see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Dear Alice and Charles, I'm sending a copy of this letter to both of you. I didn't write to you last week because Dad was ill. And when Dad's ill, it isn't quiet around the house. It isn't quiet at all. He's always giving us orders. I was very unhappy. Dad had a cold, and there weren't any letters from you, my dear friends. And I had some problems at school, too. When Dad is sick, he doesn't stay in my parents' bedroom during the day. He stays in my bedroom so he can smoke. This is due to the fact that the baby's bed is in my parents' bedroom. He doesn't smoke in their bedroom because Mom put a sign on the door saying, "No smoking in this room, please." Mommy!
Why do you look so angry? What's wrong?
Oh, Mom, when Dad's ill, he's so terrible. He thinks everyone should be completely at his service. Are you feeling better, Dad?
Oh, yes. I'm quite well today. Mind the newspaper. Do you want to sit near me, Elsie, and read me something?
Do you want an article on local or national news? Let's see. Here's local. Or something from the sport or business section?
Oh, I want everything, but nothing in particular. Just read me the headlines, and then we choose something interesting for both of us.
Oh, this looks like a really interesting article. It seems like Dad can sometimes read my mind.
Do you have much homework for tomorrow? And what about your friends, Linda and Albert?
I don't know. You've been ill, so...
Why don't you call them? Call them. And go out with them.
Oh, really? Can I go out with them this afternoon?
But Elsie, I'm not a slave driver.
Oh, Dad, really much better. You aren't ill anymore. I'm so glad. Hello, Linda. Well, are you meeting Albert in Pommet Square at 5 o'clock as usual? Okay, I'm coming too. Do you want anything else, Dad? Do you have enough cigarettes?
Well, there's just one thing. But ask Mom, please. Maybe she wants the paper. What is she doing this afternoon? And then, please.
Well, Dad, in 20 minutes I have an appointment at Pommet Square.
That's okay, darling. You can go out. I'm all right. Bye.
Bye. Well, don't you think that when men are ill, they cause a lot of problems? Things are better now. I've received a letter from both of you. Dad is well, and school, oh yes, school is fine too. Your friend, Elsie. P.S. For my next test at school, I need some information about the history and institutions of England and the United States.
How are you, everybody?
Hello. Today we are going to talk about the interrogative and negative forms of the present simple.
Auxiliary verb.
That's right. To form the interrogative and negative of the present simple, we need the help of an auxiliary verb. This is the verb do, which becomes does in the third person singular. The main verb is in the infinitive form, and it's without to.
Auxiliary verb, do, does.
Let's look at the construction of the interrogative, negative, and negative interrogative forms.
The interrogative and the negative of the present simple of all non-auxiliary verbs are formed with the auxiliary do, does, plus infinitive without to. Present simple, affirmative form, subject plus verb. To eat, present simple. I eat, you eat, he, she, it eats, etc. She always eats meat. I write a lot of letters to Alice and Charles. She never closes the door.
They always read books.
Present simple, interrogative form. Auxiliary do, does, plus subject, plus verb. To eat, present simple, interrogative form. Do I eat? Do you eat? Does he, she, it eat? Etc. Do you eat meat? No, I don't.
Do you often write letters?
Does Charles often write letters?
Do they read books?
Present simple, negative form. Subject plus auxiliary do, does, plus negative plus verb. To eat, present simple, negative form. I do not eat. You do not eat. He, she, it does not eat, etc. Short form. I don't eat. You don't eat. He, she, it doesn't eat, etc.
He doesn't write many letters. They don't always read the newspaper.
Present simple, negative interrogative form. Auxiliary plus subject plus negative plus verb. To eat, present simple, negative interrogative form. Do I not eat? Do you not eat? Does he, she, it not eat? Etc. Note that the short negative interrogative form of the present simple has a different construction from the full form. To eat, present simple, short negative interrogative form. Don't I eat? Don't you eat? Doesn't he, she, it eat? Etc. Doesn't she eat meat? Oh yes, she does. Don't you speak English?
I'm learning it.
Doesn't Charles speak English?
Oh yes, he does.
You already know that in American English, the auxiliary do is preferred for the interrogative and negative forms of the verb to have in the present simple, rather than the construction learned before. For example, do you have a book rather than have you got a book?
Do you have a book? Or have you got a book? I don't have a book. Or I haven't got a book. Fill in the blanks.
When Dad's sick, he doesn't stay in my parents' bedroom during the day. He doesn't smoke in their bedroom because Mum puts a sign on the door saying, "No smoking." Why do you look so angry? want an article on local or national news?
Do you have much homework for tomorrow?
I don't know.
Why don't you call them? Call them. Why don't you go out with them?
Do you want anything else, Dad? Do you have enough cigarettes? Don't you think that when men are ill, they cause a lot of problems?
Put each sentence either into the interrogative, the negative, or the negative interrogative form as indicated. He always stays in my bedroom.
Does he stay in my bedroom?
They speak English well. They don't speak English well.
I have many problems at school. Don't I have many problems at school? He always gives us orders. Does he always give us orders? He thinks that everyone should be completely at his service. He doesn't think that everyone should be completely at his service.
Oh, I want everything. Do I want everything? Don't I want everything? You have a lot of homework for tomorrow. Do you have a lot of homework for tomorrow?
You have enough cigarettes. Don't you have enough cigarettes? I have an appointment at Pommead Square. I don't have an appointment at Pommead Square. You think that when men are ill, they cause a lot of problems. Don't you think that when men are ill, they cause a lot of problems? He stays in my parents' bedroom during the day. Does he stay in my parents' bedroom during the day?
Modal auxiliary verbs.
Modal auxiliaries are very peculiar verbs. Now we are going to talk about some of them. The modal auxiliaries can and could express possibility, ability, and permission. Note that modal auxiliary verbs have no S in the third person singular, have no infinitive or participle, and are followed by the infinitive without to. Interrogative and negative forms are made without do.
I can swim. He can speak English well.
They can play cards.
Can you come tomorrow at 2 o'clock? Can I go out?
Of course you can. Modal auxiliary verbs can, I can, you can, he, she, it can, etc. Modal auxiliary verbs could. I could, you could, he, she, it could, etc.
Can, could are modal auxiliaries, And the construction of the interrogative and negative forms is as follows.
Modal auxiliary can, interrogative form, verb plus subject. Negative form, subject plus verb plus negative. Modal auxiliary can, interrogative form. Can I? Can you? Can he, she, it? Etc. Modal auxiliary can, negative form. I cannot. You cannot. He, she, it cannot, etc. Short form, I can't, you can't, he, she, it can't, etc. Modal auxiliary can, negative interrogative form. Can't I? Can't you? Can't he, she, it, etc. Can you swim well? He cannot speak English well. As he is too young, he cannot drive.
Can I come in?
If you have not understood the use of these verb forms, note that can and could are connected with freedom and are used to say that events and situations are possible.
He stays in my bedroom so he can smoke.
He stays in my bedroom so he can smoke. So he is free to smoke.
Oh, really? Can I go out this afternoon?
Oh, really? Can I go out this afternoon? This sentence means, am I really allowed to? Are you giving me the permission? It means, have I really got that possibility?
The most common use of can, could, is to talk about general ability.
I can speak English. I have practiced and I have the ability. You can play football. You have practiced and you have the ability.
She can play the piano. She has practiced and she has the ability.
We can speak English.
We have practiced
and we have the ability. You can type. You have practiced and you have the ability.
They can ski. They have practiced and they have the ability.
Answer the following questions, answering positive and negative. Can you ski?
Yes, I can ski. No, I cannot ski.
Can you play the piano?
Yes, I can. No, I cannot.
Can you speak English?
Yes, I can speak English. No, I cannot speak English.
Can you play cards?
Yes, I can. No, I cannot.
Fill in the blanks. When Dad is ill, he stays in Elsie's bedroom so he can smoke.
Elsie studies so she can speak it fluently.
Elsie can go out this afternoon because now her father is well.
English people can speak English very well, but they can't always speak French fluently.
Just read the headlines, and then we can choose something interesting for both of us.
Indefinite pronouns. Someone.
Something.
No one.
Nothing. These are not all the indefinite pronouns. A more complete list will follow later on. Special expressions with the indefinite pronouns.
Nothing interesting.
Nothing special.
Something interesting.
Something special. Elsie, someone is calling you.
Uh-huh. No one ever calls me on the phone.
I have something interesting for you, Elsie. Put the correct missing indefinite pronoun. Mind the newspaper. Do you want to sit near me, Elsie, and read me something? Oh, I want everything, but nothing in particular. Just read me the headlines, and then we can choose something interesting for both of us.
Someone is knocking at the door. Do you want something else?
No one wants to come to the cinema with me. Both equals 2 out of 2. Both of.
Dear Alice and Charles, I am sending a copy of this letter to both of you.
Just read the headlines, and then we can choose something interesting for both of us. I have received a letter from both of you. All equals every one, completely. All of. At all equals absolutely.
I have read all of these books. When Dad is ill, it isn't quiet around the house. It isn't quiet at all.
I have done all of it.
Enough. It's placed after an adjective or adverb, but before a noun.
Do you have enough cigarettes?
Stop it. That's enough. This work isn't good enough. To call someone on the phone equals to telephone someone. To eat.
To drink.
To smoke.
To choose.
Forms with to be.
To be ill.
To be well. To be well equals to be all right. To be well.
To be ill. When? When Dad's ill, it isn't quiet around the house.
Where? Where are you going to meet your friends?
At Pomead Square.
Local news.
National news.
Sport news.
Business news.
Slave driver.
Street.
Square.
Anything else? Nothing else?
What's the matter? What are you doing?
I'm practicing my English in strange and magical ways.
Wasn't that 2 units ago?
Do you know what 1 month ago, 2 units ago, 6 days ago means?
1 month ago. 2 units ago. 6 days ago.
That's all for now.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Dear Elsie, well, about your request concerning the history in institutions, now I can tell you something. There was a lecture yesterday at the secondary school near my house. I was the lecturer. Everybody knows I'm not working and they're all trying to find something for me, so they asked me to give a lecture at the local school. I tried my best to keep the pupils interested. The lecture was about history and institutions in Britain. I began calmly. I'd taken a lot of slides to show them. The children were finally attentive, so I began.
Okay. England is a constitutional monarchy. It's ruled by a king or a queen. Now we have a queen. But we also have political parties. There are 3 main parties. They are the Conservative Party, or Tories, the Labour Party, and the Liberal Party, who used to be called the Whigs.
The Queen and the Parliament coexist. The Prime Minister and his political party run the government. The Prime Minister's house is at number 10 Downing Street.
Excuse me, sir.
Don't call me sir, I'm Charles.
Oh, close the window, will you please?
Charles, has the British government always been like that?
Well, in a sense. What exactly do you mean? Do you want to know something about our past?
Yes, all right, our past.
At the beginning of British history, the country was full of animals and woods and very few men. These men lived very differently from how we do today.
But were there slaves in Britain?
Not yet. It's too soon to talk about slaves. But anyway, there have never been slaves in Britain. Now go and sit down. Our country has been invaded many times. The Celtic tribes settled and began to populate the country. In 55 BC, Julius Caesar landed in Britain. The Romans invaded the country, and so the 2 populations started fighting each other. The Romans were very important in Europe, and here too. You can still see their influence today. This is an example of their ability. When later the Anglo-Saxons invaded this country, they settled here, and so we are the descendants of these people.
And what about the Parliament?
Not all at once. It wasn't until 1215 that the British founded the government, when John Lackland was obliged to grant the Magna Carta. He had a hard time because he lost all his power.
Was the government the same as it is now?
No, a lot has happened since then. Many kings ruled the country with disagreements and wars. Do you remember the 100 Years' War? Well, the 100 Years' War was against the French to have the power over the 2 countries, England and France. It began in 1337 and ended in 1453. Then there was the War of the Roses, a fight between the Yorks and the Tudors, 2 main noble families in England.
Henry VIII, with all his wives, wasn't he a Tudor?
Yes, he was a Tudor. His reign lasted from 1509 until 1535. He created problems with the Catholic Church because of all his marriages. He was Elizabeth I's father. She was a great sovereign. Under her reign, the arts, music, poetry, and explorations all flourished. Do you remember William Shakespeare? Sir Francis Drake? Well, she ruled the country with great authority.
Oh, so long. Was it because of this that our pioneers immigrated to America? It was because of the religious persecution, wasn't it?
Now, can anybody tell me when some British people left Britain for America?
Oh, it was terrible. The others just stared at one another, but nobody helped me, and this little show-off just carried on.
Yes, you know.
Oh, yes, I know. It was because of the religious persecution that in 1620 the people from Britain first left for America and then settled there.
Good, that's correct. Now let's get back to British history. Then there was the time of the Commonwealth, led by Oliver Cromwell in 1649.
What about the British Empire?
Well, the British Empire...
Just a moment, please.
It wasn't easy to go on with this boy asking silly questions all the time. He ruined everything I'd planned to do. The lesson was a disaster. That's all for now. Cheers, Charles.
Hello, welcome back.
Hi. As in every language, in English there are regular and irregular verbs. The regular verbs have very simple forms.
That's right. In English, there are regular and irregular verbs. The regular verbs have very simple forms.
Regular verbs. In English, a verb has three main forms: the infinitive, the past simple, and the past participle. The regular verbs form the past simple and the past participle in the same way by adding ed to the infinitive without to. Infinitive, to plus verb. Past simple, verb plus ed. Past participle, verb plus ed.
To talk, talked, talked. To call, called, called. To found, founded, founded. To ask, asked, asked. To talk, talked, talked. To call, called, called. To found, founded, founded. To ask, asked, asked.
Spelling rules. Spelling rules for forming the past simple and the past participle of the regular verbs. Before adding ed, final y becomes I when preceded by a consonant. For example, to try, tried, tried. But, to play, played, played.
One-syllable verbs ending with a consonant preceded by one vowel double the consonant.
Look at the following examples. To slip, slipped, slipped. But, to look, looked, looked. To jump, jumped, jumped. Verbs ending in e add only d. To excuse, excused, excused. To live, lived, lived. To die, died, died. Fill in the blanks with the correct form of the given verbs. To work, worked, worked.
To walk, walked, walked. To excuse, excused, excused. To ruin, ruined, ruined. To destroy, destroyed, destroyed. To try, tried, tried.
To rule, ruled, ruled.
To play, played, played.
The past participle is very useful in all compound tenses, and it's useful to us today because we are going to learn the passive verb forms.
The passive forms.
In an active sentence, the subject does the action. In a passive sentence, the subject undergoes the action.
To form a passive sentence, use the auxiliary to be plus the past participle. If there is an agent, it is preceded by the preposition by.
Active. The Romans invaded England. Passive. England was invaded by the Romans.
I take the book. Active. The book is taken by me. Passive.
Passive, affirmative form. Subject plus verb to be plus past participle. Present simple, affirmative